Today, I'm going to introduce English for Nutrition and Health Science. My name is Feng-Min. First of all, you can see the background information. This course is the required course, and it's 2 hours per week. And the number of students is 45, and they are all sophomore majoring in nutrition and health science. And their average English proficiency level is CEFR B1. And then this is the overview, including 2 parts, design of ESP course syllabus, and also task, demonstration, and design. Okay, so this ESP course is designed to help students in EMI healthcare and nutrition program develop their ability to comprehend and communicate specialized content in English. It introduces essential nutrition-related terminology and builds the communicative skills needed for success in clinical and dietary settings where English is the medium of instruction. The course was developed through close collaboration with EMI faculty in healthcare and nutrition. Through joint discussions, the instructor identified the topics, skills, and language structures essential for students' academic success. Thus, the course focuses on major content areas such as nutritional requirements across the life cycle, the importance of a balanced diet, nutrients in food, eating disorders, and food safety. As a core language course for nutrition and dietetics majors, this class builds upon students' prior English study to prepare them for the advanced linguistic demands of EMI coursework. Students are encouraged to complete at least one general or intermediate English course before enrolling, which will provide them with the foundation needed to engage with specialized materials. So let's see the needs analysis. So their profile is nutrition and health science majors, and then the goal is the disciplinary literacy, and then they want to pursue an academic and professional English. However, they have limited discipline vocabulary and weak grammar, and also they are not confident. They need scaffolding and clear rubrics to be improved. According to Biggs and Tan, what and how students learn depends to a major extent on how they think they will be assessed. So it is very important to have a backward design framework, that is to identify desired results from students. So it is essential to set up the intended learning outcomes, ILOs, as the final goals. And in this course, we use the Bloom's taxonomy. So we use some cognitive verb, including generate, develop, determine, analyze, apply, use, perform, present, describe, explain, interpret, discuss, and recognize. So you can compare EMI ILOs with ESP ILOs. Okay, so by the end of this course, you'll see that students can recognize and explain common English vocabulary and grammar patterns used in EMI courses. And number 2, describe key information in short nutrition-related text, dietary guidelines, and simple case descriptions. And third, use appropriate expressions in short oral and written tasks relevant to nutrition and healthcare context. And 4, generate simple and well-structured text. And 5, perform guided speaking and listening activities. And finally, develop clear and accurate explanation, recommendation, and case analysis in English. This is the genre egg. You can see the genre is diet plan and case studies. That's why we design some sentence pattern like identifying defining term, describing content, summarizing guidelines reports, describing the case, or presenting the data. And then the field-specific vocabulary, including nutrition like protein, fat, vitamin, minerals, carbohydrate, and modal verb and the health science. Okay, so let's see the instructional design. So this course adopts a student-centered text-based approach to language learning, integrating both academic and professional context. Class activities are designed to reinforce concepts introduced in EMI Healthcare Nutrition course by incorporating authentic materials. So these authentic materials directly extracted from EMI textbooks, lectures, and relevant academic articles rather than fabricated or simplified content. Okay, so lessons combine instructor-led mini lectures with interactive learning strategies, including case studies, problem-solving tasks, and small group discussions. And then to further support learning, the course incorporates AI and technology-enhanced tools, including Chang Class. So Chang Class is an online learning platform for distributing materials and assignment. And the second one, Notebook LM, it's a good AI-assisted tool for vocabulary building, reading comprehension, and concept mapping. And third, Napkin, it's also an AI-powered tool for visual thinking and knowledge organization. And fourth, My ET is an AI-driven language learning platform. It can provide automated pronunciation evaluation, speaking practice. And finally, multimodal resources, including videos, podcasts, infographics, and other media. Collaborative tools and structured peer feedback activities are also used to help students practice communication skills and build confidence. For participation in EMI coursework and professional scenarios to support fairness and objectivity. These rubrics guide students in giving constructive, consistent evaluation, making peer feedback both easier to conduct and more reliable as a learning resource. The assessment method are include 5 parts. The first one is oral presentation. Students deliver a professional presentation on the nutrition and healthcare topic using appropriate English terminology and presentation strategies. And number 2, My ET oral practice. Student will use the AI-powered My ET platform for pronunciation training, speaking fluency, and self-paced oral practice. And third, midterm and final exam. Exams include vocabulary and grammar recognition tasks, reading comprehension questions, and short writing exercises. And number 4, group project. Students need to develop a written nutrition plan or produce a health-related report using authentic data and resources. And number 5 is class participation and peer feedback. Participation in discussions, group work, and peer evaluation activity is graded. Then the learning material. Okay, so this ESP course, collaboratively designed with EMI instructors, makes extensive use of authentic learning materials drawn from EMI courses and related sources, including professional textbook, academic articles, dietary guidelines, reports, and real-world case studies. So first, you can see the primary textbook is Career Path. Okay, so it's a nutrition dietetics. And these materials allow students to be exposed to specialized vocabulary and communication patterns as they expression are used in clinical dietary healthcare context. And other materials, okay, include academic articles, dietary guidelines, nutrition reports, and content extracted from EMI courses. And they are all integrated into the lesson plan. To further enhance engagement and practical application, students participate in group projects requiring them to research and present real-life examples. So they need to have some topics, for example, dietary supplements, recipe sharing, food poisoning case studies, and digestive system illustration. Okay, now let's see the course schedules. In this course schedule, you will see that in the first week, I will introduce the course and I will do the needs analysis. For example, I will do the quick discipline-specific diagnostic assessment, including vocabulary, sentence patterns, and reading comprehension, because I want to know their ability at first. And after the first week, you will see there are some professional units, including infant nutrition, adult nutrition, and before the midterm exam, they need to do the oral practice and also the group project. Okay, and after the midterm exam, you can also see some units like dairy products, the endocrine system, anorexia and bulimia. And also after that, there are 2 projects. Okay, so they are all oral presentation, and they have a final exam. Okay, so for the grading, you can see that 20% for class participation, 20% for group project, 5% for peer feedback, 20% for midterm exam and final exam, and finally 15% for my ET oral practice. Now, I will introduce the task, demonstration, and design. So the learning task in this course is oral presentation, and it aligns with the intended learning outcome 6 to develop clear and accurate explanation, recommendation, and case analysis in English to support nutrition and healthcare related problem solving. And the task description is that students need to work in groups to research and analyze a real health or nutrition related topic or case, for example, a food poisoning incident, and deliver their findings in English through a structured oral presentation. And each group will take on the role of nutritionist, explaining the background, significance, and implication of the case, supported by visual aids such as PowerPoint slides, charts, and infographics. And the note is that students are responsible for obtaining authentic material by themselves. And this is the GRASPS model, is to constructing a task scenario. The first one is the goal. Students are required to deliver an oral presentation in English on the health and nutrition topic. And number 2 is the role. So students take on the role of a nutritionist, aiming to present nutritional knowledge in a clear and organized way to their audience. And for the audience, consists of classmates and the instructors, so students should consider it so the presentation should be informative and engaging to encourage critical thinking. And the situation is that the presentation takes place in class within the given time frame. The goal is to deepen students' understanding and nutritional concept. The product is the oral presentation where visual aids such as PPT slides, charts, and videos should be used to enhance the delivery. And the criteria include accuracy and completeness, fluency, delivery and engagement, visual quality, and then content depth. Okay, so there are 3 stages: unpacking, interaction, and repacking. So for the first unpacking stage, teacher shows the model, PPT, and video of a health related presentation and highlight some key vocabulary, teach sentence patterns, and introduce presentation structure, and use rubric to define scoring criteria. And then in the interaction stage, students need to group in pairs, practice describing a case using sentence frames. And then they will do some practice like vocabulary matching, concept mapping. They need to have a draft for slides and they need to brainstorm. And the teacher will give feedback on structure and language accuracy. And finally, at the repacking stage, they need to finalize PPT and script using learned vocabulary and structures. And then the peer feedback will be used and they will get the rubrics. And finally, the reflection task. Students summarize strengths and areas for improvement in language use. Okay, final part is the analysis of the learning text. This is a very important 5 elements, including the disciplinary for developing specific cognitive skills, active involvement, actions, outputs, and monitoring and feedback. Okay, so now let's explain in detail. The first part is the cognitive skills. So in the cognitive skills, students analyze and process language, including identifying discipline-specific vocabulary, grammar patterns, and text organization. Practice critical thinking in integrating English nutrition health science. And then number 2, students actively use English for interaction, asking, answering questions, discussing cases, negotiating meaning, and practicing role-specific communication. And the third one, teachers can directly observe students' language performance, that is the observable action, including pronunciation, fluency, vocabulary use, subject sentence pattern, and discourse organization. And number 4 is the shareable outputs. Okay, students produce language-based projects that demonstrate their ability to communicate specialized content clearly and accurately in English. And finally, it's the monitoring and feedback stage. So teacher needs to give continuous assessment feedback, and the assessment focuses on language accuracy and effectiveness. So the vocabulary, precision, grammar use, pronunciation, and presentation skills. And the rubrics and peer feedback should be given to students, and then students will improve their ability in English. Okay, thank you for your attention.